Hey there, Andrew here. I love to be entertained, but I have no patience, so I give every new show I watch only one episode to hook me. Welcome to Debut Review. Tomb Raider. It's been a while. No, the remastered re-releases don't count. Shadow of the Tomb Raider was like 2018 or so. It's been 6 years. I want a new Tomb Raider game.
I got an itch, and only Tomb Raider games can scratch it.
I mean, the Uncharted games, kind of along. I like Tomb Raider better. Uncharted's pretty good, except for 3. Terrible game. Patooey, I say! I think the last one was Lost Legacy, and I think that was the year before, so it's been even longer. But man, they just stopped making Tomb Raider and Uncharted games. So Netflix just debutted a Tomb Raider television series, so I may as well watch the first episode. I don't want to watch Tomb Raider. I want to play Tomb Raider. I saw the first movie, the one with Angelina Jolie. It's okay. Never saw the sequel. Didn't see the one with Alicia Vikander. But, this one's I'm gesturing over here because it's on my PC because for some reason I cannot get my television to connect to Netflix, so I have to watch it on my desktop. Damn you, first world problems! So let's see. Tomb Raider, The Legend of Lara Croft. Heroic adventurer Lara Croft, voiced by, Haley Atwell. Neat. Embarks on a perilous expedition to stop a high-tech mercenary bent on unleashing chaos worldwide. I just raid a tomb, Lara. Tomb Raider. Find tomb, raid tomb. Goldern it. There better be tombs and the raiding thereof. I hope it's not like the new series of video games where they came out with the first Tomb Raider and there were like no tombs. And everyone's like, hey, where are the tombs? And Crystal Dynamics is like, are you telling me you want to raid tombs in Tomb Raider? Everyone's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, all right. So they made a sequel. And they're like, what do you think? And it's like, okay, well, there are tombs and you can raid them. It's completely optional. It's like, we put some tombs in Tomb Raider for you to raid. They're over there, If you want to raid tombs in Tomb Raider, they're there for you if you want. I don't know why you'd want to raid tombs in Tomb Raider. Lots of tombs to raid in Shadow of the Tomb Raider, though. I think the thing that concerns me most about a series is Lara Croft, like Indiana Jones, is a tricky lead character. Because in order to make it work, you need to be so gosh darn charismatic that the audience doesn't stop and think too hard or long about what this character is actually doing. Because if you actually stop and think about what Indiana Jones is doing, it's like, wait a minute. And Lara has the same problem. But, if they're just a really charismatic, likable character that you just want to spend time with and follow on an adventure, then, they're just, desecrating someone else's crap and stealing their stuff and killing a lot of people. We can look past all that because they seem like such a fun person that I'd want to have a beer with, right? Tomb Raider, let's give the first episode a look-see. No, sir, I did not like it. I mean, it's not like it didn't offend my delicate sensibilities or anything. I just didn't think it was very good. Maybe I'm just in a bad mood. I don't know. I was feeling very nitpicky throughout the whole thing. In video games, in order to make the damn thing playable, you have to suspend disbelief to certain respects. Lara has a 6-foot vertical jump, which is unrealistic, but games just aren't very exciting if your character can only leap a foot off the ground, right? If they have human stamina, you wouldn't be able to get anywhere or do anything. If they only had realistic levels of pain tolerance and ability to soak up damage, you would not get very far in these games. So, everything is heightened. You suspend your disbelief. So this show starts out with Lara raiding a tomb, so that's nice. So she's running towards a tomb. It's on the other side of a ravine, and she's being chased by bad guys. And so she makes a flying leap from one side of the ravine to the other, and it's like 100 damn feet, and she just launches herself at it and just sails across. And then in the games, generally speaking, if you jump a distance at a cliff wall, what you do is you slam your climbing axe and try to gain purchase before you fall to your death. She doesn't have a climbing axe, but she has a knife, and she just plunges it straight into the side of a rock wall and then slides down a bit like Errol Flynn sliding down a ship's sail. Right? He plunges a dagger or a sword or something into a ship's sail and rides it down. She does this same thing with a damn knife. I'm like, that is the sharpest magical mystical knife I have ever seen. Or the rock face is made out of butter. So she can leap about 100 feet horizontally and jam a knife into the side of a rock. And it doesn't just jam inside. Again, she like rides it down a foot or two. It's whatever. So she climbs up, and then she falls into the floor gives way. She goes into the temple. The floor gives way underneath her, and she falls into a body of water. I was lucky. And I guess the ceiling collapsed too, because there's big chunks of rock and stuff coming down after her. And she like zips through the water like, I mean, her movement is almost like if you've ever seen a dragonfly just kind of move like, I'm like, and the way she's animated, she's just kind of like zipping around, like she's not like paddling or kicking her feet much. It just looks really weird. Then she crawls out of the water, and a big gator grabs onto her ankle and yanks her in. And she stabs the gator in the face with her magic knife, and the gator just floats belly up. And impressive continuity, her right ankle or is it her left? Might be her left. Whichever ankle it is constantly damaged and bloody. And I was genuinely impressed, because they seem to have, got that continuity solid. But she never limps on it. And she does full-on kicks with that. Like, she does a hurricane kick with that same foot, and it's not flinching at all. I mean, even Lara in the games has the respect for our suspension of disbelief to at least limp for 10 seconds before walking it off, speaking of continuity, she has a earpiece, a Bluetooth, in her ear at all times forever throughout the entire episode, no matter where she is or what she's doing. She's like, you remember the beginning of, which one is it? Is it Rambo 3? Where he's like somewhere where he's like doing the wrapped knuckle fighty punchy thing. She's in Peru apparently after the end of Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Interestingly, this takes place in the continuity of the latter three games. The all that stuff appears to have like just happened. So okay. She's like in a pit fight. She's fighting. She's still got her damn Bluetooth in. Whether she's moving furniture in her house, pit fighting, raiding a tomb, at an auction in a very nice dress. I really like that purple and pink dress. It's very swank. Wearing her earpiece. It's kind of weird. Also, I love the fact that she's like wearing sneakers with her dress. Which, like that seems like a great character thing, because she's like, hey, oh, I love your dress. She's like, it has pockets. You know, she seems like that kind of person. I think that's a funny kind of character beat. I think it's mainly to facilitate an action scene, which, fine. Interesting bit of continuity that didn't work is, in addition to sneakers, she's wearing like bicycle shorts under her dress. And in like only 2 shots, she has her knife garter. She has a strap around her thigh to hold her knife onto her leg. And unless I missed a scene where it fell off, it's not there. Then it's there when she needs her knife, and then it's gone. But that earpiece, that Bluetooth earpiece, that's there the entire time. Again, who cares? Nitpicky stuff. So Lara is having trouble moving on with the various tragedies that she's faced over the course of the 3 games, I guess. And she's on the phone with Jonah after getting in a pit fight, after her pit fight. And he's like, you need to, I know the guy died, but you need to move past it and move on. And she's like, it's just too hard. And she hangs up the phone. And then she's with the other lady, and she says, other lady, what's that lady doing? And she says, oh, her husband died a month ago, so she's burning all of her stuff so that she can move on. I'm like, wow, that is heavy-handed. That is on the nose. That is, it's just right there. It's like, and she's like, oh, so she goes home, and she starts dragging all the furniture she's going to just burn all the furniture. Okay. Although the way it's presented, it looked like she came home to all the furniture just kind of in the lobby of her manor. And I was trying to figure out, like, was she moving out at some point? Is she moving in? But no, ostensibly, I guess she'd, like, been there a while and been gathering a bunch of stuff, which is way too large for a person to... I didn't see a hand truck anywhere. I don't know how she's moving this humongous stuff that must weigh a couple of tons. Some of these, like, granite columns and big sarcophaguses? I don't know. Whatever. So someone steals a thing and runs off, and she chases them. That's the inciting incident. I don't care. I just no. It's hard to get behind Lara or her friends because you just don't really know enough about them at this point. I mean, I'm not sure how long she's been ignoring her friends to go do a thing because she's having trouble dealing with the death in the family, and they're all, come on, Laura, it's been like 3 years. I get that it's hard, but could you at least come home for Christmas or something? Like, I mean, I don't know what she's going through. Her friends are like trying to be supportive, but I'm also kind of on their side. It's like, I know it's upsetting that, your father died, and then your adopted father figure also died, saving your life, and you're having trouble getting past that. You've experienced a shit ton of trauma. I get that, but could you at least spend Christmas with your friends? I mean, at some point, you'd think that some of her friends would be like, I think she just doesn't like us that much. This isn't worth the effort. Or maybe they're just better friends than I am. I don't know. Maybe I'm too selfish. Maybe I'm in a bad mood and just nitpicking a cartoon. I don't know. But the first episode did not do it for me, so probably not going to tune into the second. Pretty confident I'm not going to tune into the second. But what I would like to say is, I think Shadow of the Tomb Raider, the latest game, showed both what Lara should not be as a entertaining, likable, relatable protagonist, and simultaneously what she should be in the same game. Because Lara, you can kind of cut some slack in the first game. She's kind of a dipstick, but like little of what's going on is her fault. She may take some things too far, but she ends up in a situation that she didn't really have much control over. I mean, her boat crashed on an island. Not much you can do about that. On the other hand, every vehicle she gets into over the course of those 3 games ends up crashing. Like, do not get in a vehicle within Lara Croft. Boats, they sink. Trucks, they crash. Planes, they fall out of the sky. I don't remember if she's been on a train or not. Nathan Drake was in one and it fell off a cliff. Don't get in vehicles with these people. It's like, if you're at a house party and Jessica Fletcher shows up, leave, because someone's gonna die. Same thing, right? If Lara Croft is there, get as far away as you can, because disaster will soon follow. Not even saying it's her fault, but she is a disaster magnet. Anyway, so she goes through the first game. She ends up on the island. She is just trying to rescue her friends. Ends up having to go through a crash course in wilderness survival, because Lord no, there aren't any damn tombs to raid on that island. And by the end of the game, she's just a Jason Voorhees stalking beast to the point where the bad guys are like, oh shit, here she has a grenade launcher, here she comes, run! And there's this great, deliciously obnoxious, silly sequence towards the end of the game where she replies something along the lines of, that's right, you bastards, run, run, I'm coming for you all. I'm like, holy shit. To when you get to the third game, where she's just flagrantly putting herself above everyone else and just getting everyone killed. Like the opening to Shadow of the Tomb Raider, she ignores all the very clear signs, the written instructions that say, this will wipe a civilization off the map if you do this, so don't do this. She's like, maybe I should touch it. And then a bunch of people die and it's all her fault. And what's amazing about this game is you kind of hate Lara Croft because she's just a bumbling idiot whose selfish, her truly selfish, self-centered actions get tons of people killed. Wipes an entire city off of the map. It's like, the supernatural's real, Lara. We've established this. Were you not paying attention in the last 2 games? No excuse, lady. Everything in Shadow of the Tomb Raider that is the main story path is obnoxious and makes Lara completely unlikable. But all of the side content is, like, really good. Like, she finds this community of people who live out in the jungle somewhere, just minding their own damn business. They've lived there for centuries. All the tombs that dot the land, that's their stuff. That's their tombs that their ancestors dug out of the rock and hid treasures in and built booby traps and stuff. And what ends up happening is she just hangs out in this community with these folks, and they ask her, they commission her to go raid their tombs and see if you can find some cool stuff that we can, trade and sell and to help, increase the prosperity of our community. And you become a part of this place and you help them out. Not, by doing them solids and not stealing their stuff and breaking their things, right? It's great. It feels good, and it allows you to raid tombs without the white guilt. My favorite sequence of the game is there's another place. It's like this small town with a church in it, and there's this tomb nearby, and they're like, oh, Lara, Jim Bob went spelunking in the tomb and we haven't seen him in like 16 hours. Could you go find him? And she's like, by gum, I surely shall. Probably not in those exact words, but the sentiment is the same. And so she goes into this tomb and she finds good old Jim Bob, who broke his leg, so he can't go out the way she came in. So she has to raid the tomb and find a way out to get this guy with a broken leg out. And that's my favorite sequence. I'm like, this is what Lara should be, right? Someone who's out to, help people. An incredibly talented adventurer for hire who's, out there looking out for people and defending them from those who would exploit them. And not just some selfish, crass, self-entitled asswipe who is out there to take your shit if she doesn't destroy it first and wipe your entire village off the damn map while she's at it because she thinks of nothing but her own needs, which game's still fun but makes her kind of unlikable. So really interesting character dichotomy in Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which really has nothing to do with the show I just watched. I just didn't think it was very good and didn't really feel like talking about it much. So anyway, I hope they make more Tomb Raider games because I'd like to play them. The end. Hey all, starting at noon Pacific Standard Time on Saturday, November 2nd, I will be live streaming video games for 24 hours straight to raise money for Rady Children's Hospital as part of the Extra Life charity event. Check the video description for the link to my event page where you can make a donation and see what I've got planned for this year's show. Hope to see you there.